phone in. Alright, so Mike decided to dress up for this video. It's Bernie Sanders. So what do you guys want to talk about today? The retreat's coming up in a couple months, August. Do you guys want to talk about what you get out of them?
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten a better marriage from them, for one.
Don't irritate him or he won't let us videotape this.
You know, Jen, you have a very unique way of, there's nobody out there doing what you're doing. You're doing something very unique, both for individuals and for the planet and for the universe.
And for couples.
Whatever you want, you will find at the retreat. Meaning,
Me?
No, the people come into the retreat. I mean, whatever your heart's desire is, whatever you're searching for, you're going to find there because it's catered to you.
Oh yeah, so most people create, that's Bernie, I'm Buster. Buster's a ham. Most people create a program, say hi Buster, say hi to everybody. He waved with his energy. So most people, when they're creating a program, they'll formulate it first and then expect the people to fill it. And what I do, is I wait for the people, invite them inwardly, wait for the people who are planning to attend, and create the program specifically for their spiritual needs. You guys want to get a room? Buster hasn't been around us the whole time we were here, and now that we're videotaping, he's there. Oh, something on the horizon. There's a hunt. So you guys can talk.
Well, for me, going to the retreats, I believe that I'm a better person and a better husband.
You always believed you were the best person ever, so
Yes, that's true.
But you have become more attentive to others, and right? Hasn't he become more attentive?
Yeah.
And you've seen your own narrow misgivings. Is that the right word?
I think so.
Do you want to share your dream?
The two dreams that I took.
Well, at least the one dream, the dream where I'm always like yelling at Mike for something, and he thinks I'm like really hard on him. They're showing off for the camera. So Mike thinks I'm really hard on him because I really do see this energy in him that thinks his shit don't stink. And it's hard for the rest of us to be around, and when he sucks up all the attention or energy in the room just because he shows up, and he's grown up and he's been used to that, like just sucking all the attention out of every room just because he can. And there's a problem with the world. It's like women understand what it's like not to have that be the case. And so it's been really difficult to show Mike that it's not like that for everyone. And that a byproduct of doing that is a real arrogance. So me and Mike have issues where I'm always calling him on it, but I'm actually trying to like open him to his own sensitivities. So Mike had a dream the other night. You want to tell him what it was?
This is the one about being late?
No, the other one.
The other one. I had a dream the other night where Jen and I were just yelling at each other, having this really heated argument. And at this point, I don't know what the argument was even about, but we were just really yelling at each other. And I realized that this is what I do on an energetic level.
All the time with me.
With all the time,
He,
always.
he can't see that. So the facade is he's a sweet, get along with everybody guy. And that's what he's showing the world. And that's his illusion. And that's his facade. But underneath that, he's like fighting with me the whole time and telling me off and diminishing me and everything. And he's doing that all the time. So the way to rip through that is to show him consciously what he's doing by calling him on it. And so what he got was his higher self was showing him in the dreams that I'm right and he's wrong. This is how he shows up in the world. So that made an impact, right?
Yes, it did.
So at the last retreat, Mike knows how I am about time, because time is really, when you're attending a retreat, it's really important because the ancient ones are there for you. And it's a show of respect to show up on time. And so if someone's late, it's like saying fuck you to the ancient ones. And I have a problem with that. So at the last retreat, Mike was 1 minute late. And it was like he just sauntered in like no big deal, and I just ripped into him. It was the first morning, there were new people there, they didn't know me, they didn't know what I was about. And then this is what they get, is me ripping into this guy for being just 1 minute late. But it was necessary to set the tone of the whole retreat. Now, the last retreat was what, 6 weeks ago? So 6 weeks later, Mike has a dream, and tell them what your dream was.
Well, in this dream, I was going to a spiritual classroom in another dimension, and the class was scheduled to start at 10 a.m. I actually got there early, around 9:30 a.m. I didn't go in the room. There was another person.
The boys are playing. That's what you're hearing.
There was another person waiting out front, so I started talking with that person, and the next thing I knew, it was a few minutes after 10, so I was late. So I went in, and the instructor in the class really lit into me, not even the other person for being late, but really lit into me for being late in front of the whole class. So that also was a lesson for me to not stop being late.
Well, didn't it explain to you like what we're doing here is a
Yes.
reflection of the work, the inner work that you're doing,
Yeah.
and like to disrespect the work here
Yes.
is a. I'm sorry, I just got instant messages distracted me. Yeah, so it's like a reflection. What you do out here is a reflection of what you do inwardly. So if you're like walking around here swearing or complaining, and you think you're doing angelic work, you can't. There's no disconnect. Like I had a client early on in my years. She her brother died of an overdose. He stole, he drank, he wasn't a bad guy at heart, but he was just getting by. So he OD'd. And ever since he OD'd, she thought that he was her guardian angel. That doesn't happen. If someone doesn't know how to overcome the lessons in this life, they're not going to overcome them in the other life. What you are now in the physical is a reflection of what you are in the inner worlds. So if you're like stealing or lying or cheating here, you're not going to learn how to not steal, lie, and cheat there unless you go through extensive training there as well. So the interesting thing about this woman is she had a lot of cravings for pot and alcohol. And the thing is, she had opened up to her brother who had killed himself, and she had thoughts of suicide as well. What she didn't understand was because she was so connected to this guy and so open to him, he was feeding all of his negativity and all of his habits through her body. So he was the reason she was smoking pot and overeating, over drinking, over swearing, stealing, because she had given herself over to him, thinking he was her guardian angel. And the work we did, we closed off that connection and helped him move on. And we passed him off to teachers who could teach him the cause and effect of his behavior. And we freed her. And we showed her how the tough love and letting him go is what was necessary for him. And that's usually the case when someone has killed themselves. There's something about the spiritual laws that they haven't learned, because life is a precious gift. So they need to learn it somehow. And if they're taking their own life, either they're overcome by psychic energy from someone else who had taken their life, or they're missing some spiritual law. It doesn't do them or you any good to commiserate with them. You need to cut them off with tough love and allow them to be assisted on the other side by trained healers, trained teachers, trained angels, if you will. So it's really important. I don't know why we came full circle to that, but someone must need to hear it. Well, this is great, you guys. Thank you for your attention.
I just want to add one thing.
Yeah.
I feel like you train angels. You train people to be angels, to heal and help others, ultimately be a force of love and healing. That's what you're all about, Jen. I'm sorry, that's my opinion, but you're all about love and training others to also love, turning it from taking to giving.
Thank you. Well, the next retreat is healing the healers. I mean, you can use any word you want. Healers, light workers, angels, spirit guides, training everyone to be there. Most people think that a spirit guide is someone to put on a pedestal, but that's farthest from the truth. A spirit guide is someone who you can befriend and not be intimidated by, and can be yourself around. So in that sense, we are each other's spirit guide. Are we boring you, Mike?
No.
All right. Well, thank you guys for participating.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Jen.